Hi guys, how's it going? Ginamations here, and I'm with my dad again. It's nice to have a hobby, and my dad's hobby is amateur radio. What is it, and what got you interested in it?
Amateur radio is a hobby which all people from all over the world, you can communicate either using microphone, speaking over the wireless, over the radio. And what I like to do is tapping away using Morse code. You can play with different types of aerials, and you can go in for different competitions.
Can anyone do it, or do you need a license?
Well, anybody can do it if you're interested in radio and radio communication, but obviously you have to have a license. You need a basic understanding of knowledge of radio communication. There are certain courses that you can go on to be able to get a certificate. I've been doing this for over 60 years. I was first introduced to it by my brother. He had radio equipment that he designed and built himself back in the late 50s. He taught me how to operate, and he taught me how to do the Morse code, and it really progressed from there.
That sounds really interesting. Who have you spoken to on the radio, and have you made any friends?
Well, I've made lots of friends all over the world, and I've spoken to some very interesting people. King of Jordan, King Hussein of Jordan, I spoke to him over the radio because he was a radio ham. People ask me if I'm a ham. I say I used to be, but I've been cured now. Anyway, yes, I've met friends all over the world, and sometimes when we go on a cruise, we stop in port and I get to meet some of the people that I've spoken to over the radio, so that's quite interesting. I did Gibraltar and to Iceland and to Italy and places like that, where I met friends that I've spoken over the radio. It's a good hobby. It fosters international friendship, the art of learning how to communicate with other people.
Do you belong to a club, and what do they do at the club?
Yeah, I belong to a couple of clubs. Belonging to a club is useful because you meet other people who share the same interests as you, and they help you various things that you perhaps don't understand. And they have meetings quite regularly, and also they do special events where they put on a radio station for the benefit of the public, and the public can see what amateur radio is all about. And they also have a special weekend this weekend, what's called a field day weekend, where we take our equipment out into the field and set up tents and aerials and so on, and you'll probably see more of that a bit later on.
You belong to a club. What's the club called, and how would you find out about it if anyone wanted to join?
There are several clubs. I belong to a club which is the Loughton and Epping Forest Amateur Radio Club. They meet once every 2 weeks in Chigwell, Essex. I'm also a member of the Secret Nuclear Bunker Contest Group, which is a group which is affiliated to the Kelvedon Hatch near London. Also, I belong to the Havering District Amateur Radio Club, but I don't go to that club so much nowadays. And it's useful having a club because, as I say, you meet lots of people there that share the same interests that you do, talk about different things, the people you've spoken to over the radio and so on. No, it's a useful thing to belong to a club. And you can find out about what clubs are available. There's a National Radio Society of Great Britain. You can look on the website and they'll give you a list of various clubs, and you'll be made most welcome.
We'll probably take a look at what Dad's radio is all about and show us how he operates it. If you want any of the equipment, or you want to try on the hobby yourself, I can put them in the description and you can have a look. You mentioned about communicating to each other on the radio. How do you do it, and how do you communicate?
We've all got what's called a call sign. My call sign is G3SVK, and I also have what's called a QSL card. I've talked to somebody from Liberia, somebody from Wallis and Fortuna in the Pacific, South Cook Islands, another station. There's another rare one. The man has died, unfortunately. It's the Mount Athos in Greece. We use the monk up there at the special monastery on Mount Apollo in Greece. I send my card out to people.
Yeah, if you want one, we can send you one.
Send a card to people just to confirm that I made a contact with them.
They take it quite seriously, and he goes upstairs every now and then, so we don't see him for ages. He goes on these competition things. You've met some people from Japan and China and
also
Australia.
All over the place,
yeah.
That's correct, yeah. As I say, we have competition that happens over the weekend, and there's a special competition this weekend all Europe. When you talk to somebody, the expression is you worked with them. In other words, you've spoken to somebody. Judy will show you.
You can call me Georgina, it's fine, because it's weird you calling me that.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah, well, there you go. Just a lot of activity, mainly on Morse code.
Now we're going to get quite actiony.
Active.
Yeah, active. Can you show us how it works and how it operates and everything? He's ready to go. Look at him. He's been psyching up this all morning.
Yes, I can do that, yes.
Let's go then.
This is the radio equipment.
You're going to reverse into
we'll
me.
Cut and then we'll do me.
Bye guys.
If you're enjoying this video, give a big thumbs up.
And a comment and a subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe and put some comments on the bottom. Even if you don't like it, put comments on the bottom. Okay, this is the equipment. I'll explain what the pieces of equipment are. We have to log all the contacts we make. We do it on a laptop, got a special login program. We put all the various call signs and the information from the person I speak to. Here is the transmitter and receiver. That's referred to as an IC7300. That's the model number of the transmitter receiver. We have various bands which we're allowed to operate on, depending on the time of day, depending on the propagation, depends on where's best to talk to and what part of the world at any particular time of the day. At the moment it's 2:30 in the afternoon, so the only really proper contacts we can make is probably just around Europe. I also have here, I don't know whether you can see it, my Morse key. We'll be able to zoom in on that in a minute. That's what I do when I send my Morse code. Here I have a little amplifier which amplifies my signal, a tuner which tunes the various aerials. We'll be able to show you the aerials a bit later on. That's what I do. What we have to do is we have to listen around and see whether anybody is seeking to have a contact with you or not with you, but with anybody. They would call what's called CQ, which means seek you. I'm seeking you, I'm looking for somebody to talk to. And they would call CQ. And in a minute I'll have a look and see if anybody's calling CQ and perhaps give them a call. And I'll tell you where they are and explain what it is that's being said. And generally speaking, we would give each other a signal report. That's how strong am I being received, how well are you hearing me? And that's usually given the readability or the intelligibility of the signal, how well he's hearing me, is usually given from a number 1 to 5. Strength of the signal is usually 1 to 9. So you have a meter on the radio which tells you just how strong you are receiving, but generally speaking I use my ear to gauge just how strong the station is being received. Let's look for somebody who's calling out for somebody to speak to, and I'll see if I can call him and make contact with him.
Using this channel, please? Anyone using this channel? No, apparently not. CQ, CQ, CQ. Golf 3 Oscar Bravo X-ray calling CQ. Golf 3 Oscar Bravo X-ray calling CQ. Standing by for any possible call. I see someone.
G3 Ocean Bravo X-ray G3 OBX. This is Golf 3 Sugar Victor Kilo. G3 SVK calling you, standing by.
G3 Sierra Victor Kilo. This is Golf 3 Oscar Bravo X-ray. Golf 3 Oscar Bravo X-ray. A very, very good afternoon to you. And thank you for coming back to my CQ call there. You're a good signal. You're good 5 and 9. 5 and 9. Name here is Derek, Delta, Echo, Radio, Echo, Kentucky. That's Derek.
Yeah, very fine, Derek. G3 Ocean Bravo X-ray from Golf 3 Sugar Victor Kilo. Yes, very good afternoon, Derek, and thank you very much for the nice signal report. You're very loud here, you're very strong. I'll give you a 5 and 9 also. Very nice, strong audible signal here. And my name is Fred, Fox Romeo Echo Delta. And if it's okay with you, we are making a recording of the QSO for a project that my daughter's doing, so if that's okay with you. So back to you, G3 Oscar Bravo X-ray from G3 SVK, over.
G3 SVK, G3 OBX returning. Yes, 5 business there, Fred, 5 business. Understand you're up the line from where I am, and the Fox Tango 857 transceiver sounds very, very nice. Understand you are making a recording there, Fred. Yes, there's no problem at all. If I'd have known you was going to make a recording, I would have put my new shirt on. I've still got my garden clothes on. I was out in the garden fairly early this morning. I don't like this heat, unfortunately. I expect you to there, Fred, and also, of course, your family there. Straight back to you, and hope you're still copying. G3 SVK, G3 OBX, standing by.
The QSO, it's been a pleasure, of course, and delighted to meet you. And I will happily send you one of my QSL cards if you'd like one. Kilo, signing the G3 Oscar Bravo X-ray. Thank you, Derek.
So did you you communicate with someone from across the planet?
Yes, that was a station in Czechoslovakia I was talking to there. Vladastic, that was his name. And he was transmitting from Czechoslovakia. He wasn't very loud, but I was able to understand what he was saying. All I did was tell him how strong I was getting him, which wasn't very strong. I told him my name and I told him where I'm located in London. He came back with the same information, where he is, and my information. I was very weak with him as well. So we had a conversation, so that's how it's done.
Well, try it one more time, guys. Give a thumbs up if you're enjoying it or you're fascinated by it. Communicating. This is Morse code, guys. It's what they used on the Titanic. And these are all the people you've contacted.
Yeah, IK0PXD. Because it says dupe I've worked in before, I'll just put his name there, Alex. And then I just enter the call in the log, just say log it, like that, and that puts it in the log. So that's amateur radio. That's a brief introduction to amateur radio, and if you're interested, there'll be a link on the bottom of the screen as to how you can get involved and where you can join a local club to learn out more about it. It's a very fascinating hobby, and I think that anybody that's electronically minded will find it very fascinating and enjoy it. Thank you very much for watching. Thumbs up, bye bye.
Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.